I forgot to do, well, I didn't forget, but I didn't have a ton of time. So I decided to just try to budget now, right? Because again, my time just be robbing me. I don't be having a lot of extra time, but I'm making time now, y'all. So we're jumping in to the budget. It is March the 1st. We are into our third month of the 2024 year. And that just means budgeting for us. I do get it. Some people are not about the budgets. That's fine. You just free flow. I think our friend Dave would call it the free spirit. I'm a nerd. I need to know all my numbers. I need to know where my money is going. Because what I have determined over the years is if I don't tell my money where it's going to tell me where it's going. And I just don't want to relinquish that much control of my power to my money. So I have, I've kept the budget every single month. I was talking to Alana. It's very interesting. Y'all chime in. Let me know where you're chiming in from. I was talking to Alana on the way home, and she said, "Mom, I just love to budget. I just love to know where all my money is, and I just want to know how much I have and all the things." She's 20 years old. If many of us would have been taught these types of concepts earlier, we would be the same. So some of us, because we have fear and anxiety over how much money we don't have or how much money we owe or how much money we have going out, we never even look at the numbers at all. So you don't know, hey, ma'am from Sacramento, nice to see you. We never know where any of our money is. We don't know where it is, what it's doing. All we know is we don't have enough. And that in 2024 should not be a mindset that we have. You should be able to account for 100% of your coins. Hey, ma'am, how are you? You should be able to account for 100% of your coins, all of them. Now, whether they do what you need them to do all the time, it is what it is. But I can tell you where they went. From Bermuda. Well, hi, how are you? That's lovely. So I don't want to belabor the point, but I do want to just kind of talk through a little bit of why people don't budget. Many times they don't understand the concept. A lot of times they don't think that they can budget. They don't have the fortitude with the math. That's why I use the budget sheet that I use. It's called the MYMT personal budget sheet. It tracks my weekly, daily, monthly expenses, and it does all the calculations for me. Okay. You can find that sheet on any budget sheet that I've ever done. You can always find it there. It is a free download that I was able to get just from a simple Google search. So I just make it available for anybody who wants to use it. It's not my sheet. I didn't create it. When I typed in budget sheet, this is what popped up. It downloaded for me free, and I've been using it now for about 4 or 5 years. So that's one thing. You have to know what you have coming in versus what you have going out. You have to know what's coming up. There's some expenses. So this month, mama has to get a rabies shot. So that's an expense I didn't count on. Another expense, and I don't know why I wasn't thinking about this. Well, I do. Shamika's getting married in May. Jackson is in the wedding, but I thought they were going to just wear a white shirt, pair of dress pants, and some suspenders. That's what we were told in the very beginning. I had already planned to just go out and buy that. Well, plans changed. Now we got to go to the tuxedo shop, and he has to have a tuxedo. So they said you have to pay when you come in to do your fitting. So now that's in the budget that I didn't plan for. So I have to make sure that I'm aware of that. The cleaning lady's supposed to come this month. That's another expense. Just different things like that. And when people start to get overwhelmed with their finances or lack thereof, they just say, hey, it is what it is. I'm going to spend what I got. It is going to be what it's going to be. And that, again, is not the right mindset to have when you're talking about your finances. You're never going to get out of debt or build wealth if you don't know where your money is. Every person who has built wealth has what's called a portfolio of what they have, of their assets. And unless you have a portfolio of your assets, you're never going to know whether you have enough coming in or too much going out or whatever the case is. So we're going to jump in. This only happens when I'm in front of my camera, y'all. That's why I film and I edit stuff out. Pray for me. I'm going to share my screen just so you all can see kind of where we're working with. We did have some changes this month. Few changes happened, and I was like, darn. Okay. So here is my MYMT personal budget sheet. Again, I simply downloaded this from Google. I did not create this, but all of the formulas work. Everywhere you see a yellow box or yellow cell, there's a formula inside of that cell. So if I click right here, you'll see at the very top, it has a ton of function in there for calculating up all of the sheets from the month. So it has a week 1, a week 2, week 3, 4, 5. And then all of those are calculated because when you go in and start putting in your daily spending or your weekly spending or whatever it is, then it all brings it back to this main budget sheet at a glance is what I call it. So I'm going to pop back up. This is my March budget. Couple of things I do not do. I do not put in budgeted income. And I don't put in budgeted income specifically because I never know what my income is going to be for sure. And I don't want to guesstimate that. I'd rather just put in my actual. But I can definitely, in my budget column, know that this is exactly what I'm going to have to pay out. So those of you who have irregular income, you can then know what you need to have as a bottom line, right? Even if you don't have that budget category at the top, works out perfectly. So I have several income categories. First of all, I have my monthly payroll. I'm paid once a month. I'm a once a month paid employee. So I don't have bi-weekly or weekly income, just once a month. And then I have to stretch my money out so that it lasts me an entire month. We don't run out of money versus the month when you know how to manage it so that you have spending money every week, which is why I break down my groceries weekly. I break down my gas weekly. If I have spending money of any kind, I break that down weekly. And that just helps me. Good granny. Okay. Then I get kids deposits. Well, it's just one kid now. It's not multiple kids since Alana does not get child support anymore. Just Jackson. One mom revenue that needs to come off because that's on something totally different. Travel reimbursements. Now, at my job, if I have to drive my vehicle outside of my regular school for the day, I travel to 3 schools during the week. So if I have to drive from my house to the school, I don't get paid to drive. But if I have to leave the school to go to another school, to go to the central office, to go to a meeting, to go to anything else, then they'll pay me mileage for those miles. Just going to my regular school of the day, I do not get paid anything. So that's why I put that on there. Unexpected gifts, blessings, funds transferred. If I have to transfer something from my savings into my checking to pay a bill, that's where I keep that. Hey, Miss Evelyn. So that's why I have that there. Now, once I move down into my expenses, here's where I'm paying all of my bills, right? So I'm going to jump in. Okay. I have my mortgage, which is an online payment. I just pay it through the online payment portal. My cell phone, I just pay that through Venmo or Cash App. My household repairs is a sinking fund. So what I do for household repairs, things break down. When you own a home, stuff just happened. Yesterday, we were in the laundry room trying to put on a load of clothes, and Alana was hitting the washing machine. She's like, Mom, it's not coming on. What you mean it's not coming on? This washing machine is not old. What do you mean? And I went and hit the button. It wasn't coming on. It wasn't coming on. So I'm moving and then shifting it and unplugging it and replugging it. I'm thinking, did the jack go off? You know, did the thing flip a switch or something? Because this washing machine is not old. But stuff happens. Things happen. You never know what it's going to be, when it's going to be that way. And so what you need to do is what I do and I recommend is that you have a small fund. It doesn't have to be a lot of money every month, but I want to put something aside for those things. One year, my washer went out and the dishwasher. I've already bought 3 dishwashers since I've lived in this house. 3 dishwashers in the last 7 years, 8 years in May. 3 of them. I've had to buy a refrigerator. What else? We did flooring. So those things just come up. Stuff happens and you have to make adjustments for it. Household miscellaneous items, I didn't have any of those. Lawn care for Mr. Jerome, even though he's not doing lawn work for me yet. There's some other little winter projects that I always like him to come in and do. He gets all the weeding done. I have like a tree line in the back of my house. So in between those trees, it grows up like little saplings and different things. And I don't want, once it gets warmer and snakes start, slithering around, I don't want anything hiding out there. So I always ask him to make sure to get up all that. And the kids and I will do some leaves and stuff like that. But he helps me. I have where that one tree was in the front yard. It has begun to sink in the yard. So he's going to come in and backfill some dirt for me in there. And so I just keep that money for Mr. Jerome for different projects. He just built me some raised beds for the garden. And so we just keep, money there. And if I don't use it for him, I'll use it for the garden. My renewals, $55. That's for my yearly pest spray, my pest control, and my recycling. It's $55 a month. Roth is $75. Amazon Prime is $13. My PureFlix is $11. That comes due in May. And so I just need to be aware that that's going to come due in a couple months to make sure that I move that money over. Gym membership, my Healthways is $29. Jackson's membership is $42. Any federal taxes, any type of income from my business, from the one mom business or anything that is associated with one mom, I take 15% of that out. I put it into a sinking fund so that when it is time for me to pay my taxes, I pay my taxes. So last year I took out 15%. I think I had saved up about $3,000, a little bit over $3,000 in that account. I ended up having to pay taxes. So I think North Carolina was like $400 and some dollars. And then federal was like $500 and some dollars. And so what that ended up leaving me with was like $1,900 in that account. And so while I didn't get a refund back from filing my taxes because I had saved the money up front, that's kind of like my refund. That's how I'm tricking my mind to think, oh man, I had to pay taxes. Sure you did, but you saved up enough that you didn't have to pay all of it into taxes. So with that money, we're taking that and I'm going to get the floors done. That's what I'm going to do. I was planning another project outside, but I think the inside is pressing. So I'm going to get the kids' rooms done first. And if I have to put my room off, I will. But I'm going to get the kids' floors put in, and then I'll deal with mine. But that's just because I was able to save the money from my taxes, and I start over every year. So now that we're in a new month, I'm starting to save taxes now for the new year. High school, that should say homeschool. No, that should say, high school fund, not curriculum. I'm not buying curriculum, but Jackson has grown and he always needs clothes of some kind. So $50, my new camera or a laptop. A laptop is really what I need, really bad. And so I save $20 every month. It is a sinking fund. If I have funds to sink, I do. If I don't have funds to sink, I don't worry about it. I sink the important things and then I come back to things that are kind of variable. It won't hurt me if I do. It won't hurt me if I don't. Moving down to my food expense. Now, $400 is my regular grocery budget that I pull off every single month. $200 I was going to save for my savings and $200 for groceries, giving us $50 per week because there's 4 Wednesdays in March and I shop on Wednesdays. Now, there are 5 Saturdays, but there's only 4 Wednesdays. So I took out the money for cash. I put $200 in my cash envelopes, and then I had the $200 for a savings. However, the other night I just became aware of someone having a need, and I chose to take that money I had planned to put in my savings account and bless that person. Their family had some emergency things happen, and I had the money, and I heard the Lord say to do it, and so I just did it. So that extra $200 for my grocery account that I was going to use for my savings account is now gone. I have given that to a family that needed it, and I'm not going to worry about it. I'll save what I can save this month. Last month I did very well saving. The month before I did very well saving, but I'm not stressing over it. I'm just going to be obedient to God, and he's going to bless me either which way. So I'm not worried about it. I did take out my $100 for summer groceries though. And then I had $23 for prep. Usually I have $50, but I had spent $27 in the grocery haul. So that's why you don't see $50. You just see 23 because I'd already spent a little bit trying to get some meat deals that I had seen for the month of March. I don't have any plans to eat out or entertainment this month, so I didn't put anything in that category. Jackson will get at least one haircut, and that will be $30. My P.O. box is $17. I keep that P.O. box because normally, I'm thinking, dang, I spent a lot of money on the P.O. box. But if someone wants to collab with me, I have all of my stuff sent to the P.O. box address, and I can pick it up from there. I don't have random people just having my address and stuff. And so, and then I do get letters and different things and cards from subscribers as well. So it's handy dandy for that. But the majority of things I get there are packages from partners to collab with. So it's worth it for me. Clothing, I do the Nadine West clothing. I get some Temu stuff and some Amazon stuff. And so I'm not worried about buying clothing this month. Dentists, doctors don't have any of that happening. Supplements, I don't have any supplements that I'm going to be paying for. Recreation and travel, because we are planning to go to California in a couple of months, I have to rent a car. And I also want to be able to take everybody out for a meal. So I still put money in there every month. And then in June, I have a girls' weekend, a girls' getaway with my Titus 2 group. And so I want to make sure that I'm able to have money for that as well. Jackson gets money in his savings account. Gracie and Gwen, they need food each month, and then they need their flea and tick meds each month. And then, like I said, Gracie has to have her rabies shot, but she also has to have her yearly exam and all those other things. So I always pull money out for their vet visits and all that. The reason why sinking funds exist and they're helpful is when you know that you have something coming up, you can plan for it, and you're not trying to find the money out of nowhere. Like, where am I supposed to pull this money from? I don't have enough money for this. So, where am I going to get it from? So that's why I plan. If I take out about $100 a month, that's $1,200 a year for the dogs. Their food bill is about half of that, plus adding in flea meds and heartworm meds because you want to keep them healthy. Then their routine once a year visit. You want to try to keep them as healthy as possible. So having pets is just like having another child, and part of being a responsible pet owner is taking care of their well-being. Okay. Moving down for transportation. So gas. I don't know why I didn't put that other money over there. So $200 I took out for gas. $100 is going to be for gas, but sister and I share. And so because we share the gas expense, meaning I drive my car a couple days a week, she drives her cars a couple of days a week. And so that works out for us. So really it breaks my budget down to like $100 for gas, because she fills up her car for a week, I fill up my car, and we just kind of do it like that. We're actually also spreading out the miles because I'm only driving my car 2 to 3 days. She's driving her car 2 to 3 days. Well, I'm driving it because she still don't have a license yet, but we're going really soon. And so it's just helping us That gave me an extra $100 this month just for miscellaneous spending. And I wanted to get my nails done and I wanted to get my toes done. I have not had my feet done in probably 3 months. And just because there were other things that needed to be done. So this month I treated myself to those two things because it's what I enjoy. I don't get my hair done. I don't need a haircut. Not getting colored this month. I won't get a hair color until May. So that's because right before getting ready to go to the wedding, I'll do it right before we leave. So anywho, I was using that extra 100 just for some miscellaneous mom spending because normally I don't do that. For my oil change, I put $20 in. And now because sister and I are sharing the driving, it's pushing my oil changes further out. I still have about 2,000 miles before I need an oil change. And by now I would have changed it already because we were just driving the one vehicle. Now we have two vehicles and it is just helping us to spread out some expenses, but I still save for it every month just because. Any repairs or tires needed changed, I save $16 a month for that. My registration, car insurance, all of that is going to be $92. Now, if you'll notice, I do have a car replacement fund on here because at some point I would love to purchase a small SUV, crossover SUV, something like that, just for me. And what I was thinking, and I was telling the kids this the other day, I said, because Jackson's going to be 15 in April, the end of April. So like April 30th, May 1st, right? Which means he still has another little bit of time before he would even get his permit. He has to drive a year before he gets his permit. And then another 6 months before he gets his license. So it's actually like 18 months now before they can get their license. So if I'm not putting as many miles on my car because sister has her car, by the time I would save up enough over the next 2 years, I would be able to buy a car and I would be able to then transfer ownership of my car to Jackson because it still would not have terrible miles on it. It's a Toyota. You can drive a Toyota forever. And so that's how we got sister's car, was through word of mouth and some friends who knew somebody. It was an older granny lady that was going into a retirement facility and she wasn't going to drive. So that's how we got that car. And it worked out real well for us. So I'm thinking about that. So that's why I keep that on there. Moving down, my tithe. It's $551. For all of you who follow us, you know that's non-negotiable. And then we partner with another ministry that I give to. So I give offering to that ministry. I tithe to my ministry, my church. And then I have planned $1,000 for savings. Now, if I take this $1,000 out, right, I can go back and say my monthly spending, sinking funds included, would be $3,530. Now, my paycheck was $3,324, $24, something like that. So I'm not off by much. But if I go back in and put the savings in, because I want to challenge myself to save, it puts me over by like $1,200, which I don't have $1,200. If the savings doesn't happen this month, I'm not hurt by it. But at least I'm stretching myself. I'm saying, hey, Shakima, don't forget you want to try to save if you can. Again, I didn't put Jackson's Tux. I could go back up here to clothing and possibly put in the $250 for Jackson's tuxedo. And I'm just going to put tuxedo rental for the wedding. And this is Jackson. So sister's paying for her own. I don't have to pay for sister's. She's paying for hers. Jackson paid for his plane ticket to go. I paid for sister's plane ticket. So all the money, it wraps around and we're all doing all of the things. But for sure, this is just how it looks on paper. Now, I have done some spending. So I'm going to back this out a little bit so you can see how the weekly works. So I'm going to go back into February 25th through March the 2nd, which today is March the 2nd. And so now today is Saturday. So yesterday was Friday. I paid my mortgage at $1,000. Now, last month, my mortgage was $892 and some change, because the year before we had paid over in our escrow. Well, we got hit with a bond and our property taxes went up. So now my new payment for my mortgage, it increased by $65. So I think I'm paying $954 or $953, something like that. I can't remember. But I still rounded it up in principal to $1,000. So it took me from paying $107 extra towards principal. I'm now just paying $47 towards principal because my regular mortgage payment went up. My cell phone bill, we paid that yesterday. That's for me and Jackson's cell phone. So it's for 2 phones, it's $90. I did already get cash out for Mr. Jerome. I got that out already. Pest control, I didn't do any of that. What else have I done? Trying to see what I've already done so far. Okay, I got out the $400 for groceries, the $100 for summer groceries, the $23 for the preps. I got out the money for Jackson's haircut. Okay. The gas, that was $100. Tithe I paid. Oh, there's that miscellaneous $100 there. I put it in for a manicure, pedicure, and for a tip is what I did. So some people say, why did you spend that much money on your nails? Well, I didn't get my feet done for 3 months. So if I break down $50 over 3 months, it's kind of like it's like $17 a month. So I didn't get them done for 3 months. It might have even been longer than 3 months. Don't quote me for it. It was a lot of crust on that thing after. I was like, ooh, that's nasty. But hey, it was wintertime. Nobody cares, right? And so then when I go back in now, because I've added in those few bills, I'm able to see that I started with, my $3,324 after all expenses have come out thus far. All my expenses that have come out thus far. I have paid out $2,790. That leaves me with $534.22. Now, if I go back and look, the majority of that is sinking funds. Now, I try to wait until I see if I have any funds come in from any of my socials, because that's how I make extra sinking fund money, or any of my affiliate links. So I did have, I'm going to stop sharing this because I'm done with the budget. I did have, hey y'all, hey everybody. Yes, please do hit the thumbs up. That just helps us get out into the algorithm. It helps us to promote people seeing the videos. That's just a little bit of a helpful thing for us. So if you haven't, please do. But I wait until I'm able to see if I have any monies coming in from any of my other streams of income. So YouTube is a stream. Facebook Reels is a stream. We just got accepted into the program for TikTok. I've never been monetized on there before, but I changed some things. The Lord told me to change some stuff. And actually, we had a reel that is almost at 1 million views. It's one, I just posted it 3 days ago, and it's almost at 1 million views. And so that potentially for the next month will bring in some. I have some Paper Sunday money that I'm hoping will funnel in. And so I'll take all of those and, use for the sinking funds. Whatever's left after I've paid taxes will go into the business account to help offset some business expenses. So some things you didn't see as far as the budget is itself, I do count as business expenses. Now, working with my person who does my taxes, because I just have the one business, I can add that into my personal taxes, and so it all just kind of washes at some point. And I have somebody else do my taxes, so I'm not doing anything wrong. I want to make sure that I'm doing all the right things. But anywho, you guys, so a couple of things just to think about. Sit down with the budget, even if it seems overwhelming. If you need to sit down with somebody, and say, hey, listen, I need some help. Just can you give me some eyes on this? I don't know where to start. That type of thing. Get somebody's eyes on your budget if you don't know what you're doing. But don't continue to not budget. Try to have as many streams of income as possible. I was looking at one of my social media where I do get income from, and it really hurt my feelings because last year I was making thousands of dollars in this one area. Then it shrunk down to half that, so about 1,600. Then it shrunk down to like 700. Then it shrunk down to like 200. Then it went to like $25, $49. Y'all, I mean, I'm like, what is going on? But as these platforms figure out their algorithms, either you're in the algorithm or you're not. That's just how it is. And so either you're going to make or you're not. And what I have found is the one reel that I just posted has like 170,000 views on one platform, and it's made me $60. 170,000 views has made me $60. Now, if you look at reels overall, content overall, if I only have 5,000 or 6,000 views, I probably have made 45 cents. So they've changed the formulation of how much they're paying out these days so drastically that, I'm not making what I once was. But that's why you have multiple streams, right? That's why you have multiple streams. We're doing a study on my books. I know some people have said they've gone and purchased the book with royalties. It takes at least 60 days before you see royalties off of a book purchase. I have my Amazon store open. Every time somebody asks me for a link, I try to do an affiliate link so that I get a few coins from that. Sometimes I make 10, 12 bucks. So again, you're having multiple streams of income, and you're hoping that the streams turn into rivers and the rivers turn into oceans. And, you hoping that's what happens, but it's not all the eggs in one basket. It's lots of things. And you need to be able to, capitalize on those types of opportunities when they present themselves to you. And so over the years, the Lord has helped me because I was doing it a little bit wrong. Hey, now I was doing a little bit wrong on TikTok. Couldn't figure out how people were making money. Well, the Lord was like, Shakima, do this. And I was like, oh, okay. And immediately when I made that change, it came up, let's verify your account because now you have the potential to earn income. I was like, I've been doing this for a year. You kidding me? And now I can earn income. Okay. But listen, it's never too late, right? Doesn't matter. I can't beat myself up for what I didn't know back then. What I can do is do it differently now. So that's how I live, right? I can't go back and make it better from before, but I can do it better now. And so again, I may or may not, just depends on views, likes, shares, follows, all that. So that's all very helpful when you thumbs up the videos because it pushes it. Thumbing up the videos or thumbing it down, you don't have to like it. But if you hit some of those buttons, it doesn't provide us any income. It actually just pushes us out so that more people can find us. What I saw today when I was looking at some analytics on my YouTube channel is only 20% of my regular viewers view my videos. Only 20%. 80% of the views we get, which are still down. Well, no, they're up now. They've been down for the past month, but the shorts help me get views, but they don't help me get income. So 80% of the people who come to my channel are new. They haven't subscribed. They've never been around for a long time. They just saw me on the shorts feed and decided to hit follow or whatever, subscribe. So that pay structure has changed over the years, but you keep working it, right? You keep working it, you keep doing your best, and that's all that you can do. But you want to make sure that every little coin, nickel, dime, quarter that comes in, you're accounting for, right? Okay, very good. So anywho, y'all, there it is. I did not want the month of March to go by without having put out the budget video, and I knew that I did not have a ton of time to sit and film because, as it were, I now have to study for tonight's live. I'll be live again tonight at 9 going through my book. If anybody's interested to just, come over and hang out with us, you are more than welcome. We'd love to have you. I got 236 views, I think, or something like that on YouTube. About same on Facebook. What I find is most people who follow me don't like the religious stuff. They don't want that. They just want the budget videos, the cleaning videos, the garden videos. They like that. But that's my conviction from the Lord. So I'm still going to give you all of your regular videos you're used to, but I'm going to be doing my book every night until May the 29th. So that's how we're going to be doing that. That's going to be 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on YouTube and Facebook. I'm going to try to add an Instagram if I can, but I ain't making no promises. Sorry, Instagram. Love all y'all. Okay. All right, y'all. It is 2:30. I have people coming over for Saturday suppers at 6, which means I got to be in the kitchen by 5, and I got to get out in my garden. It has finally stopped raining, and I think the sun is peeking out. So I'm going outside to do a little bit in the garden, get a few things done, get a few things wrapped up, try to get the garden started. It is going to be spring very soon. We're not putting out anything that's going to be harmed. If it freezes again, our last frost date is like March the 15th. But I got some celery that I need to get out in the garden, and I have some peas and carrots and spinach and all the little things that need to go out, and we're going to go out and get them done. So I do want to thank you guys so much for stopping by. Thank you so much for all of the support that you give us over here at One Mom. We love you. Please don't think we're just saying that to have you come. We do. We have made so many friends, and I see the same names all the time. So you all are my friends. I appreciate you so much. We love you guys. Out to the garden we go, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye now.